Hello everyone, my name's Linda Morgan. I'm one of the ministers at Holy Trinity, and it's lovely to be able to connect with you today via this podcast. It does feel a bit strange to be sitting here talking into my phone, but in these strange times at least you'll be able to see my face, even if I can't see yours. I'd like to share a few thoughts with you now to help us to walk in faith together through these troubled times. One of the things that I've been most thankful for since the lockdown has been my ability to connect with family and friends via phone and video calls. Our daughters both live in Brighton, and although we've been physically isolated, we've been connected via WhatsApp and Zoom. In fact, we've probably spoken more to each other than usual. The same's also true for our neighbours. We've got a road group going to make sure that everyone's okay and everyone's safe. My mobile phone, in particular, has hardly been out of my hand. So you can imagine my feelings a few days ago when I dropped it and the phone screen went dead. The thought that I could no longer easily connect with others, that I'd lost all my contact numbers, it filled me with utter panic. Connection with others is so important at this time. Thankfully, my phone's working again now, but it set me thinking, am I putting as much extra energy into connecting with God in these challenging times as I am into connecting with other people? The psalm set for morning prayer today, Psalm 55, gives us a bit of an insight into how David connected with God when his own life was in crisis. Do read it at your leisure, but I want to bring out just two things from it now. First, David was really upfront and honest with God. He was honest about what he wanted. He begins, verse 1, "Listen to my prayer, O God. Do not ignore my plea. Hear me and answer me." He was honest about how he felt. "My heart is in anguish within me. The terrors of death assail me. Fear and trembling beset me. Horror has overwhelmed me." Recognize any of those emotions? Whatever our personal situations, like David, we can bring our deepest needs and fears to God. And in these challenging times, it's really good to know that we can do just that. Secondly, David didn't give up on prayer. In fact, he sets up a bit of a rhythm of prayer. We read in verse 16, he says, "But I call upon God, and the Lord saves me. Evening, morning, and noon I cry out in distress, and he hears my voice." As we're all staying at home, the government is urging us to keep a routine for our emotional and physical well-being. It's every bit as important for our spiritual well-being that we keep to a routine and rhythm of prayer. The circumstances of all of our lives have changed, and so we might need to find new rhythms of prayer to reflect this. Why? Because David's confidence in God grows as he connects more deeply with him. He says, "Cast your cares on the Lord, and he will sustain you." And the psalm ends with a very simple but powerful statement of faith. "But as for me, I trust in you," which I think probably says it all. Finding new ways of connecting with others and connecting with God, it's so important at a time like this. Our streamed Sunday services, I know, have been a great blessing to many, and we're currently working on other ways to connect together in prayer and worship. I'd like to end with a simple blessing from the Northumbria community. They're a Christian community scattered throughout the world who can only meet face to face infrequently, but who join together each morning to say morning prayer together wherever they might be, rather like us in the present time. So, may the peace of the Lord Christ go with you. May he guide you through the wilderness, protect you through the storm. May he bring you home rejoicing at the wonders he has shown you. May he bring you home rejoicing once again into our doors. May God bless you all.